Welcome to Strictly Business, which is sponsored by the Bellingham Business Association, the BBA, a nonprofit organization that supports local business and gives back to the community. My name is Marjorie Turner-Hollman, and I'm your host for today. I'm a longtime Bellingham resident, personal historian, freelance writer, and a member of the BBA. As a personal historian, I can help you turn the family stories you tell around your kitchen table into written stories in book form, like this one that I did for my family, that you're proud to share with your family and friends. I start that process by listening to stories, and we have some good stories to hear today. Today's guest is Julie St. Pierre of Middlesex Savings Bank. And before we get started, I want to provide a brief recap of BBA past events. This past month, the BBA met at the Coachman's Restaurant in Bellingham. The speakers were Dr. Tim Merzicki, who talked about the stresses of caring for ourselves, getting exercise, keeping a positive mental attitude, getting enough sleep, improving our eating, and of course, getting our nervous system checked by a chiropractor. I was the second speaker and challenged the group to ask themselves some important questions about their business efforts and lives and ways that we've made a difference to others, the lessons that we've learned, the stories each of us has, but perhaps don't think much about. I encouraged people to recognize that the answers to those questions can help them present the story of their businesses in a more compelling manner. Welcome, Julie, thank you for being with us on this segment of Strictly Business. Let's get started. Why don't you first tell me about your background, how you got into your business, and what you love about it?
Thank you very much, Marjorie, for inviting me to participate in Strictly Business.
You're very welcome.
It's a wonderful opportunity for me and for my company, Middlesex Savings Bank. My background, I've been in banking for over 25 years, and I enjoy very much the aspect of helping people with their financial goals, giving them products and services to meet those goals. That's the best part of my job.
Well, how did you get into it, banking?
Well, I started out in a small bank in Norwood. I was waitressing at Friendly Ice Cream Corp, making their deposits on a daily basis, and got very friendly with the local bank and the tellers there, who suggested that I would be a good fit for the bank, and they had a position open, and would I be interested in interviewing.
So this was high school, college?
It was after high school. I had just picked up a part-time waitress job because I liked working with the public and interacting with various people, and no day was ever the same. Every day is different in my current job and in the waitressing environment too.
Okay, all right. What do you really love about your business? I
like the fact that I work for a bank that is committed to developing products and services that will meet the community needs, both personally and for the business community. It's a nice company that develops the products that will meet the needs of the consumer without nickel and diming them in fees. I've worked for other banks, and their bottom line is what they're most focused on, and it becomes apparent after some time working there that that's the #1 concern. And Middlesex has a different mindset about that. They're more involved in developing relationships with customers.
Well, I noticed on the website that it is it's not a big bank, meaning that it's owned by shareholders?
That's correct. We're considered mutual savings, which is...
How is that different?
We're owned by our customers, not by stockholders. So our customers make their deposits, and then we lend out the money on those deposits, and we're committed to remaining that way, so we will not become a stock-held bank. And
so if you get, say, a mortgage from your company, it's not going to get sold?
Well, we do offer mortgages on the secondary market that do get sold. We have a wide range of products that we can maintain in-house, but there is some products that, because of rates sensitivity, we are able to sell to other banks that can offer servicing. So it serves the customer, what's best of all for the customer.
Okay. All right. Part of what I wanted to talk to you with you being here today was not just your work with the bank, but also what the bank encourages you to get involved in the community. I hoped to get a representative of the Franklin Bellingham Rail Trail, and they were unable to join us today. But you are on their committee.
I am.
And so we're going to put a different hat on you at times through the show today and get some information about the Franklin Bellingham Rail Trail and the fact that your bank encourages you to participate in that, and that so why don't you tell me how you got involved with that?
Well, Middlesex Savings Bank sponsors over 500 community organizations that range from high school theater groups to local sports groups to the fireworks on the 4th of July. So we are very committed to being visible in the community, participating in community, things that are important for the community. So I'm thrilled about that aspect, that the bank supports that. The group that I decided to join was the Bellingham Rail Trail Committee, because their ideas are very much in line with what I personally would like to see in this area as a resident of Bellingham also.
Which is? The
development of an old rail line that we are hoping to promote to be more user-friendly for recreational enjoyment for the local towns.
Right.
There was a lot of work and preparation that went into fixing up the trail so it would be more user-friendly. It was overgrown with brush, and people were using it as a dumping ground. So a group of people got together to volunteer to advocate for the development of this in conjunction with the Department of Parks and Recreation. So we put up gates to keep the motorized vehicles off, because they tend to tear it up and destroy the pathways. So the gates will keep that from happening, because we'd like to see it more used for walking, biking, snowshoeing, that type of thing. Horseback riding,
Great. Okay. I'm going to go back and forth. I'm going to have to keep putting your hat on, different hats on. But can you tell me some specific things that Middlesex Savings Bank provides, and what training is required for you to be able to help your clients?
Great. Well, we have all the technology that people are looking for today. We have mobile banking, online bill pay, e-statements. But what makes us different is that we go beyond the technological basics to deliver a one-on-one relationship and understanding of the community that you won't get anywhere else. You won't have to hunt for a person to get the answers or to talk to. The person that you call and talk to will have the answers, as simple as that.
So if I call the Bellingham branch, like this morning I called and you answered the phone.
I did, and that's nice to be able to do that. They have. I give my business card frequently with a direct line, so my customers are able to reach me anytime.
Okay.
We're also very proud of the work that we do in the community. We sponsor, like I said, over 500 local organizations from the high school theater. And
see, now there's these grants that you were talking about.
Yes, I actually am working on a grant right now for the Rail Trail Committee to Middlesex Savings Bank, because we have a charitable foundation that you apply through a grant to get monies to subsidize projects and development of the rail trail. So I'm working on that grant currently.
Great.
we have a deadline of this Friday, which I don't believe I'm going to make, but we have another round in August. So there is plenty of opportunity there, and I really feel strongly about Middlesex support. Great.
That's great. What about training that you have to get to work in the bank? What sort of training? Ongoing? You're the branch manager, am I correct?
I am, yes.
So well,
things change all the time in our industry. We're always being required to keep up on current regulations, and the bank is very supportive and very proactive about that. We get all of our training in-house, and if there isn't a training that's provided in-house, we do go off-site to different areas and get trained on new products, new services. Currently, we're working on an instant issue debit card, which will allow us to immediately give a debit card to our customers. And that's very important.
Okay. And what kind of people and businesses do you serve?
We serve a wide range of customers, from the very young, starting out with their very first savings account, to couples looking to purchase their first home. We have some great first-time home buyer programs, to the older customer that is looking forward to a comfortable retirement and what they would need to do to get there.
So with an older customer, is it any problem when people want paper statements?
No problem at all. We still are able to accommodate the customer that even wants to write paper checks and continue doing their banking the way that we all originally learned. The electronics are all new, and it's more the... But you'd be surprised at the number of older people that grasp the technology and really have a handle on it.
And some of us, maybe not quite as old people, that still really don't want to do it.
Yes, but our product is very user-friendly. People seem to enjoy it. It's real time. That's very important to people when they're looking at their finances. And as far as businesses that we service, we have the small local mom and pop operations that we help with them with that, as well as household name corporations, big corporations we service. And what makes us different to them is we will get in there and develop a relationship with the owners of the company, with the workers of the company, to match them up with the best products and services and commit to them to learn about what makes their firms tick.
Okay, good. All right. I was thinking about the rail trail, so we'll put your little rail trail hat on, and I actually got some information. I have walked on quite a bit of the rail trail myself.
It's beautiful.
And parts of it really are. It still needs a lot of work. But one of the things I noted was that it starts on Grove Street in Franklin and goes all the way through Bellingham, and it crosses Lake Street and crosses Cross Street and South Main Street, and then and heads on over to Blackstone and eventually goes to Douglas State Park.
That's correct. Yes.
And so it's a good portion of it is walkable right now, even the way it is. Some of it's a little underwater. Some of it has some bridges that need to be finished.
Yes.
But 22 miles is the proposed length for it, and that's
to Palmer.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. I thought that was to Douglas. I might be mistaken. But anyway, they just put the gates in on Lake Street, and so that's, it's a wonderful resource already.
It is, and if you're looking for just a nice casual walk on a Sunday afternoon, it's a beautiful place to catch some nature and to be outdoors. It's just, it's really nice.
Well, Bellingham has already put in parking on Lake Street, and there's parking signs, there's a crosswalk to try to make it safer to park on Lake Street and get across on the trail there. There's parking at Grove Street in Franklin.
Yes.
As well. So development efforts are already happening.
They are.
Which is, each step are tiny steps, but it's been years and years.
In the works, I know. This group that is currently on we call it the FBRTC, which is the Franklin Bellingham Rail Trail Committee, FBRTC. And this group of people are committed and want to see this thing come to fruition and be completed. So that makes a big difference when you get people in the community that are committed to using it, to working on it, to developing it.
Right.
It's in my backyard. It's in your backyard.
It is.
We might as well take advantage of.
I know. I know. You know, I can't wait for it to be finished so we can actually have people come and visit and get our bikes out there. It's a little tough on bikes right now.
Sure, yeah.
But
we have also had some discussion about perhaps putting down sandstone and making it a little bit flatter and more even, but that's down the line. We'd really like to get the trail completed, cleaning up the debris and making it a fully functional recreational area.
Well, all right, I'm going to go back to your Middlesex hat and ask you what I think I asked you what, I asked you what kind of people and businesses you serve, but we're still pulling through a real financial recession. And how does Middlesex, what opportunities does Middlesex, how have you addressed these challenges for your clients, and what opportunities are there?
What everyone seems so concerned about nowadays in the bank is fees. And we encourage your viewers to shop around both big and small banks and look into the cost of a bank account for a year. And I think that they would be very surprised at the cost associated with banking at various institutions and find that we would give them good products and services.
So competitive rates and maybe even better, but they should
sometimes better, most times better, because we are a mutual and don't have the stockholders to answer to.
Yeah.
We are able to give a little bit better interest rates.
I was wondering how that affected your business model.
We're similar to, we operate similarly to a co-op bank. Yeah.
Because it wasn't apparent till I read your website that you didn't have the stockholders.
Yeah.
That is an issue.
It is. There isn't probably a person that you could talk to that has not been involved in a merger of a bank or a takeover of their bank. Being involved with a mutual, what you buy today, you'll have tomorrow. And that makes me proud. So there's some stability. There is stability, absolutely.
I think that's what a lot of people are looking for.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm not sure that it's opportunities, particularly with the rail trail, to put your hat back on for the rail trail, but I know that they're doing a fundraiser road race on Saturday, May 11th, and it's going to be at the former Putnam property in Franklin on 431 Washington Street. And there's a website that the Franklin Rail Trail has that I believe will come up in the end credits that has all sorts of information about registering for that road race. And these are seen as fundraising opportunities, but it's also a USA Track and Field sanctioned event.
It is. They will have licensed timers, and they will keep track of everyone's time, and it will count towards any qualifiers that they want to go towards in the future. Yeah, so they're doing it right. But you need to check the Franklin Bellingham Rail Trail Committee. Is that the website? FBRTC, Franklin Bellingham Rail Trail.com. Railtrail.org. .org. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes. Yep. .org. Okay. Great. And they also meet every second Tuesday of the month. Yes. So the next meeting is going to be Tuesday, March 12th, over at the Hockomock YMCA in Franklin, and that happens every month. It does. And they're always looking for people's skills and what else people can bring. So, yes, it's a diverse group and a wonderful group of people that just to come out and hear what's going on is a lot of fun and interesting. Well, it sounds like you jumped right in being on their grant writing committee. So,
Well, tell us something about Middlesex Savings Bank that our viewers might not be aware of, Julie.
Well, although we are new to this area, Middlesex Savings Bank has been in existence for 175 years.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Just fairly recently into this area with the acquisition of Strata. And the fact that
so that's when you came. That's when you actually came to Bellingham.
That's when Middlesex came to Bellingham.
Okay.
Yeah, I was over in Ashland for 12 years as the assistant manager over there. So when the opportunity came here to Bellingham, I couldn't
You're a Bellingham
pass it up.
resident,
I live in
so
Bellingham.
how
It
nice.
just made sense to transition over here.
Sure.
So
welcome home.
Thank you, thank you. I'm proud to be here, especially with my bank. It's much needed in this area, a Middlesex Savings Bank.
Okay. I wonder if there was anything that we wanted to, when I was looking at the website about the trail, just not to short shrift Middlesex Savings Bank, but I was interested when I saw on the website that the rail line that was built was originally built by Irish workers who were among the people who settled in Franklin and were the people that founded St. Mary's Parish. Who would know?
Right.
They were among the founders, so that's an important part of Franklin. But it's always gone through Bellingham and provided passenger service.
It actually started out as a milk run line. The farmers in this area would ship their milk into Boston so that it could be ready for the people in the morning for their breakfast.
Sure.
So that was fascinating to me. That
and Bellingham was all farms.
They were, yes.
Then, so oh wow. Yeah, it's kind of easy to not realize that it's right there because it crosses right across Lake Street, just south of. The rail line crosses just south of Cross Street, and there are signs now that say walking trail,
yes.
and it's given it some more prominence, but I think people are still catching on that it's actually there.
There is a kiosk right on Grove Street too with some additional information that people can look into also.
Because you said that's how you actually stumbled across it.
Well, I actually heard about the rail trail through the Bellingham Business Association. They came and made a presentation which piqued my curiosity, so I had to go down there and look at it and check it out. And it was wonderful. I fell in love with it and ran into Dave Labonte, who is one of the people that are
the founders of this
in keeping the whole group going. So
yeah, there's some gorgeous stone walls and other such built in that are amazing construction along there that we really admire. So it's really, there's an awful lot to look at. So
I encourage people to get out there and check it out. If you haven't been there, it's a beautiful environment and very family friendly. Bring the children, they can run and you can walk leisurely or you can run too.
What I was intrigued by was in the Bellingham section there we discovered a cattle crossing that the trail goes right over. My husband calls it the Bossy Crossing. Yeah. that from one farm the cows could go from one field to the other right under the trail line. And you might not even notice that it's there.
I'll have to look for that.
It's between Lake Street and Prospect Street. You never, I mean, there's a lot of surprises there. So finally, Julie, let us, our viewers know the best way that they can contact you if they have further questions for the bank and then for the rail trail.
Absolutely. Well, I can be reached during the week at the bank, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. We're there 8:30 to 5.
And it's located
on 126 on Hartford Ave, across from the Market Basket Plaza.
Right, okay. Yeah. Just as you're entering into the Whole Foods Plaza.
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
And Thursdays we have a late night. We're open 8:30 to 6:30. And on Saturdays we have hours 9 till 1.
And how about the rail trail? I think we've got an email at admin@franklinbellinghamrailtrail.org.
That is good, yes.
Or their website the franklinbellinghamrailtrail.org, and I've got some phone number.
Right, or my phone number at the bank, which is 508-599-5870. If I'm unavailable, somebody from the Rail Trail would be happy to speak with you at 508-207-3570.
Great.
I don't believe that line has somebody, but if you leave your information, we will call you back.
Excellent. All right. Well, with the time remaining, I want to remind viewers that there are 2 upcoming BBA events coming up in March. On Tuesday, March 5th, from 6 to 8 o'clock at Steps Off Broadway, the BBA, with sponsorship from Middlesex Savings Bank, will present Phil Ciccio of Success Think in a presentation called Lead the Way. This event will focus on personal leadership. BBA members, business people from Bellingham and surrounding communities are invited to attend this free event. Light refreshments provided with the support of Middlesex Savings Bank will be served by Oliva's Catering. And request tickets for this free event by emailing contact@bellinghambusinessassociation.com, or you can get tickets through Middlesex Savings Bank, the Bellingham branch, 267 Hartford Avenue in Bellingham. The next meeting of the BBA will be a networking meeting in March. Check our website, which is under development at the moment, for details of exact location and time. We meet every month, but this coming March meeting will be a networking meeting. So for more information about upcoming meetings, other events, and the BBA itself, we encourage you to visit our website at www.bellinghambusinessassociation.org. And in closing, I want to thank Julie St. Pierre for being my guest today. And please check back in for the next edition of Strictly Business coming in April. Thank you. Bye-bye.